Hi everyone, Michael from Bullion Now, bullionnow.com.au. What a week we've come off, eh? It's the spot price has finally moved through that important $1,600 mark. So it's great to see that we've finally broken through that again. And obviously, in talking more domestically in Australian terms, the Australian dollar has dropped quite a bit in comparison to the US dollar, again driving the price of gold through the roof. We've jumped a good $100 an ounce just in the last week, which is great to see. And we suspect, and again for entertainment purposes only, we suspect that this is only the start of it. With all the ructions that are going on overseas and domestically with our economy, we can only see the prices moving higher. But again, that's not a recommendation. That's for entertainment purposes only. But it's not actually the reason for this video. I had to laugh at a couple of incidences that we had this week that highlighted yet again the extent that companies in this industry will go to maximise their own profit at the expense of their customers. Now, I'm not going to name and shame or anything along those sort of lines, but I want to highlight a couple of things, again, just to educate not only our customers, but everyone's customers, that this is the sort of thing that you need to be aware of. So during the week we had, and it happened on several occasions, so I'm going to highlight one incident, but it's not just a one-off, it's actually happened a few times where we've had customers come in and they've got our price for a 1 ounce bar, just a normal average everyday cast bar, and then they've left to price match us against other companies. Now look, that's not a bad idea. You want to get your best bang for your buck, and while I believe you're going to get that at Bullion Now, I encourage you to shop around, because a Perth Mint bar from us, as you'll see as we go through this video, a Perth Mint 1 ounce gold cast bar, 4 nines, is the same from us as it is from someone else. We just believe that we provide a far better service at a far more competitive price. Anyway, back to the story. So these people, they trundled away and went and compared us to a competitor, and then came back to us and confirmed the price and scratched their heads a bit, and then asked for the bar to be put onto our XRF machine. Now, if you don't know what an XRF is, I'll actually get a link put in here for the XRF. But short term, what it does is it just tests the gold to prove what it's made up of, whether there's any impurities in there. So they got us to test the gold and show that it was 4 nines, and then they went into a huddle again and they had another discussion about all what's going on, and then they came back to us again and they confirmed the price again, and eventually we kind of turned around and said, look, obviously there's an issue here, there's a concern here. You know, do you want to tell us what it is, and we'll see if we can help at all. And what it turned out to be was that they'd taken our price up to another dealer. I almost slipped then. They took our price to another dealer and said, well, why is your price so much dearer than Bullion Now's? And their response was interesting. So rather than either compete with us or provide a better service to this customer, instead they looked at it after their own self-interest, and they said, Bullion Now's gold is only 3 nines. That's why they can charge less for it, whereas our gold is 4 nines. Now, when they said this to me, I was actually a little bit dumbfounded. I didn't quite know how to respond, because I actually don't know of, and I'm sure someone's going to point out to me that there's someone in the world, but I don't actually know of any of the major mints or refineries now that are producing 3 nines gold. Everyone produces, that I'm aware of, 4 nines gold, certainly the ones that we deal with. And I could just imagine if I went to Perth Mint and said, look, we're trying to pull a bit of a Swifty here. We'd like you to produce a lower quality gold for us, charge us a bit less so we can then pass it off to our customers at a cheaper price. Look, I'm not speaking on behalf of Perth Mint here, but I think they'd have kittens over that one and possibly not deal with me again, because they produce a high quality 1 ounce gold cast bar that is 4 nines. The same as every other one that stamps it that way. No one would dare move away from the standard, industry-wide standard, because you'd get caned for it. Now, we do occasionally, and I'll put a little asterisk in here, we do occasionally sell 3 nines gold. It's vintage gold, and it usually fetches far more than 4 nines does, because it's vintage gold. It'll be an old Engelhart bar or something along those sort of lines that's, you know, from the 70s, when the refining processes weren't as good as they are these days. So in actual fact, you would end up paying more for 3 nines gold than for 4 nines gold, but that's a side issue. I was stunned and I was shocked that a company, instead of saying, well, our prices are dearer because we provide a better customer service, or you know, something along those sort of lines, that they would just lie about another company to the point where they're actually ripping off the customer at their expense. Pay an extra $50 or $100 per ounce to us for a bar that we're going to tell you is different when it's actually exactly the same. It's still got the same mint mark on it. It still says 1 ounce, and it still says 4/9 gold. So I was a little shocked at this, and I thought I'd just highlight that that's what's happening in the industry. By all means, shop around, and by all means, ask questions of both your bullion dealer and also other bullion dealers. It's not a bad idea to do it. But bear in mind, know where they're coming from. Bullion Now is a business. We aim to make a profit, but we aim to make a profit not at the expense of our customer, but we aim to make a profit believing that if we provide really, really, really good customer service and we take in the customer's best interest and we provide them with the best product at the most competitive price that we possibly can, that our profits will naturally flow from that. We don't aim to pull the rug out from anyone or to do anything else. We are here to provide the best customer service that we possibly can. Now, sure, that doesn't mean that every time that I have a dealing with a customer, we see eye to eye, and unfortunately we don't. But we certainly hope that they go away knowing that we tried the best that we possibly could. I certainly would not allow any of our guys, and I don't believe for a millisecond that anyone that works for Bullion Now would ever pull this type of stunt. But I want you to be aware of it as the public. I want you to be aware that these things happen in our industry. So ask the questions, but check the logic of the response. Get them to test it on their XRF. Show that it's 4/9s. Get us to test ours and show that it's 4/9s. Compare our prices, compare our brands. Look after yourself, but most of all, find a bullion dealer that's going to be upfront and honest and look after your best interest, as well as making a profit for themselves and not at the exclusion of the customer. All right, I'll get off the soapbox. But I can't emphasize that enough, and I really wanted to get it out there, that just be aware of the tricks and stunts that are going on through the industry. Anyway, that's all for now. Enjoy the price rise, and we'll talk again soon.